gold foil, plus chrome powder in a pen, plus Suzie's fast-setting acrylic, plus something new, my new hand rests equal these beauties. I'm putting all of these together to create that beautiful set of nails. Let's get started. I really love these nails. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I want to show you how I created them. And I got my new hand rests. These are hand rests. I've been using them for quite some time because it really does work very perfectly. As you can see, I did them all, but I have one nail free so we can do it together. So I'm going to take my medium file and I'm going to prep this natural nail. Now there is a bit of acrylic on there because I didn't actually file it all the way down. Sometimes I do, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a clear or a see-through design, then I will remove it all entirely. But this isn't, as you can see, it's covered with chrome. Okay, I just prepped that and I have my new prep and prime almost ready. Look at that. I'm super excited. So let's start with your Let's Prep. And that is a dehydrator, prepping the nail, working on the pH balance to make sure the nail is all cleansed. And then I'm going to use my Let's Bond. And you want to use that rather sparingly. That's a primer. You don't want to oversaturate a nail, no matter what primer that you're using. Okay. I'm going to get me glasses because I'm going to form. Forming is, of course, one of the most important things you're going to do. I have a fair amount of videos on that, so I won't get into too much detail because I'm really wanting to talk more about the design in this particular video. Okay, I've got my fast-setting acrylic. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit in here. I'm only doing one nail. Whoa. This dish is pretty, but a little too shallow. Okay, so I'm going to get my Oval 8 brush. And that comes in one of the tubes. How we did this originally was we were selling the kit inside this tube, both of them, the file set and the brush, right? But then many of you wanted to buy them separately. So when we did that, we couldn't sell it with the tube because it says literally brush and file kit. So that was kind of misleading if we sold it in there. So we were selling them we wrapped them up really nicely in organza bags and shipped them out. But we realized some people really, really wanted the hand rest, right? So we designed this as an extra piece that when you just buy the file set now and just the brush on their own, it comes in one of these. We want to make sure everybody has one. Okay, so I am going to use my pink. And I've got my fast-setting monomer. I'm just going to quickly build this nail so we can get on with the fancy design. You'll see this is very different than the odorless. My Suzie's clean acrylic odorless was to help be able to focus on being able to learn how to do the liquid powder ratio, because it sets so beautifully slow. But this sets, if you're used to acrylic, you'll like this because it sets much quicker. And you can get on with your design. If you already learned your liquid powder ratio, you may like the fast set because it works a little bit quicker. And that may be what you're looking for. I'm gonna go for the almond, as I always do. I really like it, especially for Halloween nails. I love the almond shape, and this time of year really welcomes it. What are you going to be for Halloween, cameraman?
Oh, somebody wearing a COVID mask.
Oh my goodness, that's creative.
Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah, right.
You got the perfect mask for that.
What are you talking about? What mask?
The Joya Mia one.
Oh yeah. That's actually a pretty good mask.
Yeah. And it looks good too.
Yeah.
I'd wear it just for looks.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Cameraman is a new fashion statement with masks. Well, I wear masks so much, a part of my job, for 33 years being a nail technician, that honestly, it's no big deal wearing a mask. I don't mind it at all. the Joya mask. Did you try it on at all with the fan?
No, I haven't tried it. No, but I'm looking forward to it on Halloween.
Pretty seriously. I mean, we're old. We don't go to Halloween parties or anything like that. But I don't think we're gonna have many kids to the door.
I don't know if there's any Halloween parties happening around here.
No.
Very small ones, if there are.
Yeah, there'll be small ones, all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go as someone. I'm not gonna tell you who it is yet, Karen.
Oh. Now you got me wondering.
I'll just show up for one of our nail videos dressed up as this person.
Oh, that'd be fun. You should have done it for this video.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have. I might miss the window because we have to plan them, you know?
Yeah.
I might miss the window. Maybe I'll just do it for Instagram. Now, just a quick tip. If you are building acrylic nails and you can do it in one ball or one bead, that's great. I can too. But honestly, when I am doing it this angle, I mean, I can do it. It's better when I do it this way. But for the camera, I'm doing it this way so I can show you easier what I'm doing. And it doesn't really matter if I can do it in one ball. If I'm showing somebody how to do it, that's not really helping because that is the ultimate goal. If that is your goal, to do it in one ball. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't mean that you're any less of a nail technician if you're not doing it in one bead. It doesn't make any difference at all. Okay, I am just going to add on this one side, make sure I have enough. I'm pretty sure I do, but I just want to double check that spot over there. I'm just building the nail out. Just wanted to show you from scratch what I did it. And it doesn't matter what color you're using. Whenever you're doing designs like this, what I do is I use the color that you're not using so much of. So I have soft white, soft pink, foundation pink, and clear. So when I'm building a nail out like this, rather than wasting the color that I use all the time, I will use the opposite color that I'm not. So I don't have to worry about wasting the color that I really, really like underneath color. Same when you have clients. If you're doing a design like this, you're putting the chrome on top, use a color that you don't use as much. Save the colors that you like to use and utilize for their actual pigments for another nail. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up. Let me brush away. Okay, now because this is faceting, this won't take long to dry at all. And then I can file it away. I just tap on it like that. See, it's pretty dry, pretty quick. And now with my medium and my coarse files, that's what you get in these. You get a set of 5 files. I'm just going to start shaping these up and make them, shaped just like the other ones. Okay, making sure that's nice and almond. I've got the nice, perfect shape that I want. Okay, so now I'm gonna get rid of all this dust. Actually, I'm just gonna get rid of some dust on this table too.
You should get a vacuum cleaner.
Yes!
It's a lot of dust on that. You really see it on that dark cloth.
Well, because usually I have light cloths, but
Yeah.
this is Halloween, so I was trying to do a darker
it.
cloth. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all that dust. Now I'm bringing in a darker color. This is where the chrome is going to pop. And when you're using chromes, especially jewel colored chromes, that's these deep, rich tones, you want to use a darker base. Black is good. I'm using kind of a chocolatey brown. If you want to know, it is 070 from Koko&Claire. And I'm just using it so that the chrome colors can really bounce off of it quite nicely. Now just remember, wherever you have your product is where the chrome powder is going to stick. So I'm just going to use this light and give it a nuke. Okay. And now I just put 1 coat of those. I mean, you can put 2, but I don't want it to get thicker. So I'm not going to put a second coat. And now I'm just going to put on a top coat because your chrome powders love to stick to the top coats. I'm using a no white top coat. Okay, I'm just going to give it another little nuke. Okay, so now I'm going to grab one of these powdered pens. This is chrome powder inside. Look at that. It's right inside there. So there's no dipping. It's already inside the pen. Now, when you want some more, you just simply go inside, grab some, and put it on. I do like the red. Let me get some more red. See, it's already in there. See how strong it is on that? So it's like the applicator, little eyeshadow applicator is already built in. Kind of like that.
That's interesting.
It is neat.
Kind of reminds me of a lens pen, I think they call them.
Oh.
You get these cleaners that come out, a little sponge and a little tube like that. Yeah.
Look at that. What's good about it is that if you're concerned about, when it kind of powdery gets around everywhere, because it can a little bit, then you wouldn't have any waste that way. So if that's something that bothers you, then you can certainly find these quite an advantage. I thought it was pretty cool. It does make it easier to kind of like fade them. As you can see, I did that with all of these. It was actually really easy. That's one thing about chrome is if you get a lot of the dust on there, it is a little harder to fade when it's all around there because once it gets on there, you can't get it off. So it's not like you can dust it away. So these are really great for blending. I don't know if you noticed my other hand, but I really blended those very, very easily.
They look beautiful.
It does look gorgeous.
Nice gradient.
It is. I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to finalize this up. You don't have to get too fussy. It's pretty easy, actually. Okay, I'm going to just dust any little extra ways. And you kind of want to do that because if there is any loose ones, it can be a little gravelly across there. So when you put the top coat, it can be a little, dotty or grainy. So I'm just going to put a top coat on before I paint my foil. And you can see when the top coat comes on it, oh my goodness, it just comes to life. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a nice little nuke. And then we can put our foil on. Awesome, that's beautiful. And notice I only did 1 layer. If you wanted a little deeper, you could do another layer if you like.
Looks great though.
I don't really feel like I have to. Okay, so now I'm going to try a little bit of foil. Now the best thing with foil is to have, I've got Bemi's transfer foil gel. And I do find that you've got to have a really good foil glue in order for this to work. This can be a very frustrating design if you're not getting any lift off of the foil, and it can be often because of the type of gel that you're using. Take a look at my thumb there.
Looks good.
Yeah, it turned out really good, except it kind of got a little squishy in here. So when you're doing a design with a lot of stuff on it, I think do some of the, like the design and then nuke it. Like I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to move my hand a bit like this because I'm going to draw my webs up from this side up. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Oops, I don't want to forget to tell you this. I buff it up slightly so that you can see the shiny part where the gel is landing. Otherwise, it can be a little bit hard to see where you're putting your foil gel. So you just want to give it a bit of a buff to sort of create a bit of a dull look. So when your foil gel lands on there, you'll be able to see exactly where it's hitting because it's shiny, okay? Okay. So now that we've got it kind of dull, we'll be able to see now. I'm just going to paint my spider web. So if you do not like drawing spider web, you're not very good at it, maybe put a stamp on there and then just trace it. The reason why I'm using the foil gel is because I just want a little bit of an embossing, kind of a raised look. Now you can nuke it in between if you like, but foil gel doesn't want to be over nuked because the gel might not stick. And I find if you get too detailed, too fine lines, the foil gel sometimes isn't as effective. You don't want to get too detailed. Okay, I'm just going to give that a quick little nuke. Okay, now you just get a piece of foil, and you can cut it or you can just use it as one big loose thing like this. And you want to make sure that, see the white side? This is the color, the gold is the color that I want on the nail, and the white side is what's going to touch the nail. So you're going to press the white side into your design. So I'm going to press the gold, and I'm going to press it in, and I'm going to rub it a little bit so it transfers. You want to transfer that foil onto the sticky parts that you just drew. When this works, it's magic. Look at that.
Wow.
Now all we have to do is bring back my little hand rest. Okay, now I'm just going to top coat it and bring that beautiful chrome to life and just seal in the foil. That's what I want to do here. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love them. Okay, let's get a closer look with the reveal shots. Man, do you know what this means?
No, I don't.
I actually have basically a matching set.
Oh, that's unusual.
That doesn't happen very often.
Not very often.
And I love them too. I think I'm going to wear them for a while. It's perfect for my Halloween. So Halloween might be a little different for some of you this year, but I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing, and I hope you enjoy this video I made with Amy with rose gold chrome. They're beautiful. Check it out.